Please plan to join the monthly call and to stay connected to Alliance for Community Trees, Urban Forestry, and your peers. Sessions are planned to last no more than 1 hour, with updates from Alliance for Community Trees and at least one Alliance for Community Trees member, followed by questions and answers. Again, I want to thank the Home Depot Foundation and the Forest Service for making this possible. Today's session is on National NeighborWoods Month. It's our first part of this. We'll have a second part, a follow-up, in October. Under the banner of National NeighborWoods Month, local organizations are joining together to promote our common message, that trees are essential to the health and livability of our cities and towns. In October 2008, NeighborWoods Month resulted in 412 volunteer events delivered by 118 local partners in major markets across the country. Campaign partners planted 33,000 trees, engaged 18,000 volunteers, and educated the public about sustainability through education and media outreach. This broad national reach of NeighborWoods Month raises the level of discussion and action in your community by emphasizing that tree canopy protection is both a local and a national concern. Today, as you'll see on the screen, we have two presenters. The first will be me. I'm Leland Milstein, Program Associate at Alliance for Community Trees. And then following up on that will be Ken Knight, the Executive Director of Goleta Valley Beautiful in California. So I'm just going to begin by telling you briefly about NeighborWoods, what it is, why we do it. I'm sure you know some of this already, but I want to review that. All right. So NeighborWoods Month, as I said, began in 2005 when 28 local ACT members launched NeighborWoods Month as a united campaign to celebrate trees and to draw attention to ACT member groups' accomplishments in revitalizing their communities. Even though NeighborWoods Month is young, it's a rapidly growing program. Just last October, which is only 3 years later, like I said, we had 118 groups holding over 400 events all across the country. So that's about 400% growth in 3 years. NeighborWoods Month is really a flagship program for us here at ACT, and we're committed to continuing this exciting growth. As a program, it not only supports local tree planting organizations and their efforts to make their neighborhoods cleaner and greener and healthier, but it's also a national campaign that unites our members and trumpets the value of urban forests in building successful, healthy neighborhoods. I think this sort of dual local national aspect of NeighborWoods Month is one of its strongest assets because it's mutually beneficial. Local groups' activities bolster NeighborWoods Month, and at the same time, NeighborWoods Month bolsters local groups. And because of its countrywide reach, NeighborWoods Month raises the level of discussion and action in your community, while also emphasizing that tree canopy is both a local and a national concern. Your participation in NeighborWoods Month adds validity and weight to our collective efforts, and at the same time, by being a part of, or I guess just being a part of nationwide campaign like NeighborWoods Month can put a little power behind you and your group. It can help provide traction and add stature to your efforts in your community. NeighborWoods Month activities also provide an opportunity for you to utilize and acknowledge your many volunteers, and also to get in touch with your local businesses and to inspire government support, and also to enhance your community's appearance and reputation. I should say that NeighborWoods Month and the growth it's seen, as well as many other ACT programs, would not be possible without the support of the Home Depot Foundation. They were a funding partner, a founding partner in NeighborWoods Month. They remain a steadfast partner, and the Home Depot Foundation's commitment to urban forestry has been a real boon for the field. So we're grateful and we're proud to be working with them on NeighborWoods Month. Now, a little bit about what ACT does with NeighborWoods Month and the resources that we provide to participating partners. I think one of the great strengths of this campaign is, yeah, we have pictures. All right, there we go. One of the great strengths of this campaign is that NeighborWoods Month makes it really easy for you to plan and to promote and to execute your events. There's a lot of resources that we provide to every local partner who participates in the campaign. Every local group who registers an event with NeighborWoods Month can receive a variety of free materials from us that we think will really help make their events successful. Perhaps the most visible of those free resources is all the gear that we'll send out to you. Participating groups can receive up to 200 posters, 500 door hangers, 300 kids activity cards, one big banner, 50 tool belts, love that picture, and 4 or more NeighborWoods Month t-shirts. More NeighborWoods Month t-shirts if you are an ACT member, which all of you are, that's why you're on this call. But more about that in just a second. Now, these are fun items and they're free, but they're also practical and promotional material. They get the word out and attract volunteers, and they really increase your visibility before and during your event, including getting you media attention. Some of these free items really can be event makers in that they produce a really professional, polished, well-executed look. You know, to have your banner up with your logo and your partners' logos all around, everyone wearing the same t-shirts. At heart, it's sort of a branding issue, and these items are an easy and fun and free way to create a really strong impression for your organization through NeighborWoods Month events. To increase your event's impact and visibility even more, ACT also offers 2 grants for NeighborWoods Month that are available only to Alliance for Community Trees members. The first is the T-shirt grant, through which groups can get up to 50 free NeighborWoods Month t-shirts rather than the 4 standard shirts that are available for non-members. Oh, where to go? There it is. All those people there in Wilmington, I believe, in those ACT NeighborWoods Month t-shirts. Play the game, Can You Spot Jared? So that's just one of our grants. The second is the mini grant, which we're pretty excited about here. It's a $500 opportunity for you to help you add a little something extra that will help make your NeighborWoods Month event more memorable and more successful. We see this mini grant as a chance to be really creative and add something special to your event, especially in terms of publicity. You could, for example, get your logo printed on promotional items like posters and t-shirts. You could pay a media service to send out press releases, or you could create ads to put in your local newspaper or radio. In the past, recipients have used this grant to hire a professional photographer or a videographer, or to present awards recognizing their elected officials, their volunteers, their community partners, or to bring in music or entertainers or babysitters, all to make their events fun for the whole family and the whole community. And we're excited. We've gotten good feedback, people applying for these NeighborWoods grants, mini grants, with pretty creative ideas. So we're looking forward to getting more of those. Now, while those grants are just for ACT members, we have available for all groups holding a NeighborWoods Month event our NeighborWoods Month Planning Kit. This is a free 50-page booklet that contains clear, simple, step-by-step instructions for planning and promoting your event. There's a lot in there about promotion and working with the media. It gives guidance about those topics, as well as presenting some sample documents and strategies that have been successful for groups in the past with their NeighborWoods Month events. There's also a section about attracting and working with local partners like businesses or your local government. That's a special aspect that we like to stress, getting in touch with your local elected officials and other prominent members of your community to come out and participate in your events. So there's guidance on that in the planning kit, and I think that makes it a very useful resource. There's also a good deal more material available on the NeighborWoods Month website, which I guess it didn't come up right here, but the NeighborWoods Month website is located at neighborwoodsmonth.org. All one word, www.neighborwoodsmonth.org. You'll find several more promotional tools posted up there, including form letters, press releases, media advisories, and lots more, all that you can fill out and tailor to your specific NeighborWoods Month event. These are tools that can help you really establish your group as a leader, as a voice on these issues in your community. There are letters that you can send to the editor of your local newspapers. There are resolutions and letters to be sent to your local government and elected officials. All of this is right there on the website in the planning kit. It's very easy and user-friendly and readily accessible, so I would strongly encourage every group to take advantage of this content. Go up there on our website, neighborwoodsmonth.org, and download these items. Also up on the website is a calendar. Every NeighborWoods Month event for every organization will be posted on that calendar on this website with all the information and details about the event so that people can see everything that's happening every day in October and find out what events are going on in their areas. So those are some of the resources that Alliance for Community Trees offers to participating groups in NeighborWoods Month. Beyond all that, we here at Alliance for Community Trees are just an email or phone call away, and I am happy to answer questions or give advice or just talk about your NeighborWoods Month event. So here's my email address, leland@actrees.org, and my phone number. Definitely feel free to be in touch, and good luck with your NeighborWoods Month event. What we're going to do now is open the floor up for questions about NeighborWoods Month. And so, Sarah.
Thank you, sir. At this time, if you'd like to ask a question via your phone line, please press *1. You may withdraw your audio request by pressing *2. Again, if you'd like to ask a question, please press *1 at this time. Please unmute your phone and record your name when prompted. Your name is required to introduce your question. One moment, please, as we wait for audio questions to queue.
I'd also say that if you'd like, you can type your questions in through the Microsoft Office live meeting program on your computer. If you'd prefer to do that, that's fine. They'll pop up on my screen, and I will be able to voice them, read them out over the phone, and I guess answer them too.
Our first audio question comes from Larry. Your line is open.
Hello, this is Larry Fago with Salt Lake County Million Tree Program. How can municipalities become involved in the NeighborWoods Act? How can they receive promotional literature?
They can participate in the exact same way. You don't need to be a 501c3 or an Alliance for Community Trees member. Anyone who wants to host a NeighborWoods Month event can, and they can receive all of that same promotional material, the banner, the posters, door hangers, kids' activity cards, and T-shirts. That goes out free to everyone who hosts a NeighborWoods Month event.
Thank you.
One of the benefits of having a municipal group participate is that they sometimes have an even broader reach than a local nonprofit does. So to work with them, to partner with municipal groups and neighborhood nonprofits can create an even bigger and more successful neighborhood event.
And hey, Larry, this is Jared. We had a really exciting partnership with the city of Denver one year, where the city leveraged its position as the head of the education in the city, and they took a couple thousand kids' activity cards, and during NeighborWoods Month, used them in every single public education classroom or elementary school public education classroom in the city of Denver. So I think there are some really neat ways that cities can actually participate that nonprofits can't.
Yes. one additional question: had ACT considered linking the NeighborWoods activities to serve.gov, listing those events on serve.gov?
Can you say that again? I'm not sure I understood that.
The NeighborWoods Month program lists different tree planting activities. Serve.gov is a organization that provides for listing of service activities throughout the United States, and has ACT thought about listing the NeighborWoods activities with serve.gov?
Right. It's a good idea, Larry, and I'll definitely look into it.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions on the line?
I'd like to remind parties it is *1 if you have a question. Our next question comes from Steve. Your line is open.
Hi, this is Steve Faber with Friends of Grand Rapids Parks. Question would be, we're planning out sort of a series of 4 Saturdays in conjunction with NeighborWoods, and just wondering, do I need to, when I go online, do separate entries for each of those, or can I combine them all in one entry? Any thoughts?
Yeah, actually, we would prefer that you, in fact, we need you to do 4 different entries when you register.
Okay.
If they'll be at different times in different places, because we want to be able to post all 4 events separately on our calendar and in other listings so that people will be able to find those on the correct dates.
And then in terms of materials, is that those maxes are sort of per organization or per event?
They're going to be per organization.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
And I'm showing no further audio questions.
All right. I don't have any questions on the screen, so what we're going to do now is invite Ken Knight to present us on sort of a nonprofit's perspective, how they put, or how his group in Goleta Valley Beautiful puts NeighborWoods Month into effect in his area. Ken Knight has been Executive Director of Goleta Valley Beautiful since 2001 and is a Certified Municipal Specialist Arborist and Certified Urban Forester. Ken and volunteers plant and maintain an average of 500 new public trees a year in the semi-arid Goleta area of Southern California, with many trees coming from their 2,000 tree nursery that they operate. Ken is also co-chair of the Central Coast Chair of the California Urban Forest Council, which advises the state forester on urban forest issues. Ken?
Thank you, Leland. See, can I get my
It's coming.
screen up there? Okay, just to let you know, I'm working now on my 4th NeighborWoods year. We've expanded from a one-day activity to a month of activities, and hopefully it will give you a few tips on my experience on how to successfully implement NeighborWoods events. I have a few assumptions here that I'm assuming that you know how to plant a tree in your part of the country, and you have access to experienced arborists that can help you with the technical aspects of tree planting. I'm also assuming that most of your planting is done on public lands, such as what we just did with this project here on a parkway, and that helps ensure the long-term care and survival of your trees. Also, we're assuming that your event doesn't end with the planting. You have to make sure that there's long-term maintenance of your project. In our neck of the woods, we have to have, there's only about 20 inches of rain a year here, so we have to have ongoing irrigation during the time of our tree plantings and for several years afterwards. And we're filling up some bags of tree gators portable tree irrigators with water to make sure that these trees are continually maintained. And we also have a tree care pledge that we provide to our volunteers who are helping take care of our trees as well. And we also make sure that one of our goals of the NeighborWoods event is to complete the project as planned and to introduce and reinforce the value of urban forestry participation amongst the volunteers. One of the ways we do that, we also provide a brochure with how to do it, and it helps. And it has our logo on the back. This one happens to be through California Relief. It's not a NeighborWoods brochure, but it is similar to types of brochures that are available from other professional organizations, and it provides some guidance to people who are participating in NeighborWoods events as to how they're planting a tree and how they can keep that information with them as they go on in future events. When you're planning for the event, checklists are most important. Check out your NeighborWoods guide. I'm not going to go through that whole guide here, particularly if you're new. It is extremely helpful. I've done hundreds of tree care planting and care projects, and I can do most of this stuff in my head, but even experienced people can benefit from checklists of things to do. You want to plan your event so that you successfully complete it within the allotted time. The participants and sponsors want to walk away from an event with a feeling of accomplishment. So you make sure the event is scaled to the abilities of those who are participating. I always like to plan an event like an accordion, so that I can increase or decrease the size of the project depending upon the conditions, the volunteers, and the weather. If you finish early, you can always do some education. Right here in the background on the left-hand side is our one-ton truck that we use, that we have a lot of equipment for our volunteers, including gloves and shovels and materials that can service up to 75 volunteers. We also want to make sure that when you're doing your project that you secure the permission to plant first. It's very discouraging to volunteers to have to cover up a hole and dig a new one after uncovering pipes directly underneath where they're digging for a new tree. And also you want to make sure you secure funding for your event. When you're organizing the event, particularly with your volunteers, you want to make sure that you network with professional organizations. Affiliate yourself with local urban forestry professional associations such as the International Society of Arboriculture, or the Tree Care Industry Association, or larger nonprofit organizations, possibly also contacting your state forester and seeking advice and guidance from organizations and people in your area. You want to develop a core of people that can provide you with guidance. In particular, you want to have one person as the overall project leader or as final decision-making authority. That's also very important. We also use existing organized groups to help secure larger numbers of volunteers. And a great source of volunteers is the local Home Depot store. This is some of our Team Depot volunteers. The guy on the right-hand side is the manager of the local store, and they've been very helpful with us. They're coming into, again, to their fourth year of helping out with some of our projects. You also want to network with your own volunteers. Ask your volunteers to bring one new volunteer to each event. We teach citizen forester classes and encourage people to respond to our weekly community events. In this particular tree planting event, it was done on a day that there was a football game next to where we were planting, and there was a bunch of people standing around, a bunch of spectators standing around watching. We said they were waiting for shade. It's always good to network with your schools and universities with community service requirements. And it's better even to get those people who have exceeded their community service requirements. Be wary of volunteers who are in detention or who are doing community service as a form of punishment. It poisons the well and leads to sabotage unless they're well supervised. Let me get my notes here. Oh, you always want to take lots of photographs of happy, smiling faces and send them by email after the event to everyone who attended if you get their email at the check-in. The emails are a quick thank you that gets read because of the photos. It can also be used as a press release. You have the added benefit of building a list of future volunteers. We always want to try with our neighborhood events to attract and work with local businesses and government partners. We scavenge as much as we can for unwanted low-value items such as broken bags of mulch or soil at the local home improvement stores. We get green waste from our local trash haulers, and we use that in a lot of our events. And we also, there's that Team Depot group again at another event. You want to try and, if you ask them about a month in advance, you usually can get some good response if you have a Home Depot store in your area. And also, when you're trying to get the support of local businesses, you want to give back as much as you can too. This is a shot of some kids at a local Home Depot Community Days event where Home Depot was, the local Home Depot store was promoting a Community Day event, and we went and helped out by doing posters or prints of leaves and distributing various educational materials there. So it was a way of helping our local store in response for all the help that they've given us. Local governments are also a great source for making sure you have permits and permission to plant. They're also an opportunity for having joint events. When we were doing our NeighborWoods event last year, we teamed up with a local city there to do a Creek Week celebration where we planted some trees during a public works event. So we had a joint public works NeighborWoods event, and the local public works director came down, and he's standing in the middle there, and got our T-shirts, and we used their T-shirts, they used our T-shirts, and we had a great event, and we made a great partner out of this. So how do you distinguish between a special NeighborWoods Month event and your ongoing regular activities? We have, with Goleta Valley Beautiful, we're out there doing something every week, and you can check out our events at our website at www.goletavalleybeautiful.org. We try to do different things. This year, for example, Goleta Valley Beautiful is working to bring shade trees to affordable housing locations. We're doing that, again, with the support of the Home Depot Foundation, a special grant. It's something that we're always looking for new and different activities to expand urban forestry activities. We also like to plan larger events. You can do that with the NeighborWoods stipend. You can reach more volunteers with more things to do. Most of our NeighborWoods events average about anywhere from 75 to 150 people during a 3-hour event. You can provide extra attractions. Feeding your volunteers is very important. Pizza is a very enjoyable item. It's easy to deal with. It's something that adds a little spice. You always want to have the pizza after the event, not before. And you want to involve the whole family with parents as supervisors. You don't want to do child care. want to make sure that the families are involved, and we've invested in small shovels to help involve families more. We also use volunteers as a source for extra equipment. Livability Beautiful has a truck, as you can see there in the background. We have enough gloves and tools for 75 volunteers, but at times we've had up to 400 volunteers. So we want to also try and get your volunteers to bring along some of their own equipment as well. Promotion and marketing, here's some tips on how to use some of the NeighborWoods materials, or at least how we've used them. We've used the posters at the nearby schools. Get that. And we've had you can take your posters over to the local print shop and put your own logo on them, contact information, and dates of where you're having your activities, locations. Particularly, you want to put an RSVP number in there so people can get a hold of you. It's a very easy way to get the word out. Another way is using the doorknob hangers. We, again, use a local printer, put our logo on, put contact information, use it as an educational tool. One drawback we found is during election times, you don't want to, doorknob hangers aren't that great because a lot of politicians are using doorknob hangers and some of them just get thrown away sometimes when you get closer to the elections in early November. So you've got to be wary of that. The T-shirts are probably one of the best ways of giving a reward to your volunteers. This is one of the board members of Goleta Valley Beautiful, proudly wearing her shirt as a check-in. It's great that we're seeing an increase in the number of T-shirts available for NeighborWoods members, for ACT members. It's a very great way to show continuing support because these volunteers come back with them time after time. And again, use your sign-in sheets to keep track of these people and make sure you know where they're coming from and how you can get back in touch with them again. Here's another way in which we've used some of our NeighborWoods stipend to provide a support for our volunteers. This is an aluminum water bottle that has not only the NeighborWoods logo and the Home Depot Foundation logo on it, but also our Goleta Valley Beautiful logo. And what we found is we were using a lot of plastic water bottles at our events, and we replaced them with these stainless steel bottles, which are very handy and very environmentally appropriate. And here we have a group of our NeighborWoods volunteers with T-shirts and with their water bottles showing them off. We've also tried using a videographer during some of our NeighborWoods events. It was a great idea. We got a lot of great footage, but what we didn't do was budget for an editing of that event. So we had a lot of good footage, but we weren't able to use it well because we didn't budget for having somebody come in and work this stuff up for a good community service announcement. So that's something we were working on, something you should take into consideration if you're heading in that route. The activity cards are very, very popular with the children. We've worked out arrangements with local schools to do project learning tree math and science programs. That's something, I'm also a project learning tree instructor, and we do these after school. And the activity cards are favorite take-home items in a Home Depot apron there. Of course, we also use the aprons for our maintenance events. We use them to hold our pruning equipment. The banner is another way of advertising your event. We normally put our banner up at the site week before the event. Haven't had it stolen yet, so that's good. It's also a way to let people know that something is coming. The only thing we haven't done is put a telephone number in there. It just occurred to me we probably should have had that imprinted on there as well so people can call and find out about an event coming up. So overall, what does it mean to be part of a nationwide effort? Well, we're using NeighborWoods as a way for year-round education, not only just for NeighborWoods Month. We, again, work with our local schools to do math and science education projects in conjunction with local elementary schools in particular. We use the NeighborWoods materials as a way of advocating support for trees and urban forestry. And we also, with a lot of the before and after projects, where we want to show photos of what we've done. So we make sure we take those photos before and after projects to make sure people know we've been out there working on their behalf. And mostly, NeighborWoods for us has been a networking way of supporting other nonprofits and sharing equipment and expertise and acting as a mentor to other organizations. And we certainly appreciate your listening here. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Leland for any questions.
All right. Thanks, Ken. We're going to do questions again in just a second, but while you're thinking of your questions, I just wanted to clear up, in case this was a question for anyone, as Ken has discussed and Jared mentioned before, there are all kinds of events that can be NeighborWoods Month events, not just plantings, but also educational activities, ceremonies. So we're happy for people to be creative in what they do to promote urban forestry in their areas during NeighborWoods Month. Also, with all these great pictures Ken has shown, and he also mentioned the importance of taking photos and sending them out to your members, please also send your photos to us. Alliance for Community Trees has a photo contest for NeighborWoods Month that we're eager to have submissions for. We get a bunch of really great ones every year, and the winner of the contest gets a $500 gift card to the Home Depot, and also that picture will be used in our materials. So with that said, I wanted to ask Sarah, the operator, to please tell us about questions again.
Thank you, sir. As a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press *1 on your touch-tone phone. Unmute your phone and record your name when prompted. Again, it is *1. One moment, please.
One other thing that Ken mentioned while we're waiting for questions is the idea of networking. And one of the topics that he and I had discussed a little bit was taking advantage of new media, the web and Facebook, Twitter, to promote your events. And I wanted to let you know that on the NeighborWoods Month website, there are banners and other little pictures and logos that you can post on your website about NeighborWoods Month. All right, are there any questions in queue?
I have no questions in the audio queue.
All right, I wanted to remind people as well that you can ask questions over the web through that Q&A button. One other thing that Ken reminded me is that he and Goleta Valley Beautiful have done a great job. He showed you how they can customize posters and door hangers with your specific group's information on it. Please, as Ken did, do a wonderful job of including the Home Depot Foundation and ACT and NeighborWoods Month logos on those, on his water bottles, on his pamphlets, and right there, as you're seeing all these great items. Ken's done a wonderful job with it. So, any questions in the queue there?
I have no audio questions, sir.
All right. Well, then I think that will conclude our session today. We will have our next members-only webcast on September 3rd. That's the first Thursday in September. And that one will be on development and national fundraising. This presentation, both Ken's and my PowerPoints, and the recorded session, and also a resource list on NeighborWoods Month will be available in about a week on our website. There is a survey that we would love for you to take. It is right here. And by filling out some questions, you'll really help us as we develop this members-only webcast. And as we think more about NeighborWoods Month, remember that there will be a second part to NeighborWoods Month, a second webcast on it in October. So look out for that. Thank you for participating today, and we're eager to have you stay tuned and stay informed about what we're doing here at Alliance for Community Trees. I want to thank Ken Knight for talking with us and sharing his perspective on NeighborWoods Month. And I want to thank our sponsors, the Home Depot Foundation and the USDA Forest Service. Thanks, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you back here at our next webcast in September.
This does conclude today's conference. You may disconnect at this time.
Thanks, Leland.